Howdy there again, folks. It is I, once again, Brandon Wenzel, your guide into all things martial arts cinema related, because, of course, I know Kung Fu. And, I'm not reviewing anything right now, not exactly anyway. If you watch the explanation sensation, you might have an idea of what this is, but this is going to be my special features segment that I'm going to do after the main review of the film. Because I did want to cut down the time, but I did want to go into some of the cool stuff that I maybe can't get into. And I thought to myself, what other reviewer has special features, right? None that I know of, which makes me what I like to call a pioneer. If I had a Davy Crockett hat, the analogy would be even better. So, here's the kicker. I'm going to try to get these done in 5 to 10 minutes or so. So that way it's not eating up a lot of time. So, I'm also going to announce the next film that I'm going to review through here. So if you want a sneak peek of what the hell I'm going to do, there you go. So, let's get to this shit quick. Alright, let's start it off. First of all, I actually forgot to do this in my actual review. I wanted to go ahead and put out a kind of a, I'm trying to think of the term, sort of a get well soon notice for Miss Rothrock's mom, Cynthia Rothrock's mom. She's, obviously Cynthia Rothrock's, she's a little bit older as it were, so of course her mom is, she's probably an elderly lady, and she had a bit of a fall in the washroom, and, I know she kind of injured some ribs or something like that, and Cynthia Rothrock posted about it on her Facebook page, so I'm, doing so, and I hope you will as well if you're not assholes, to wish her a speedy recovery. So I just wanted to, because I did forget to do that, and that actually happened last week. So let's all, fans of Miss Rothrock, let's wish her a speedy recovery, Send her our best wishes. So, okay, one of the things that I'm going to do in these, probably going to take most of the time, is my interesting Goon news, which will go into some of the things that happened in the film with Goons that I couldn't get to in my actual review. So, I wanted to get to Peter Cunningham and Karen Shepard, first of all. Because I didn't really get to go into them too much in the thing. So I just wanted to do little things for them. So Mr. Peter Cunningham, I just wanted to bring up 7-time undefeated world kickboxing champ. How cool is that? He actually had to stop filming at one point during Above the Law to go kick the shit out of somebody and then come back because he was still in the middle of his professional career at that point. I think he only had like 50 wins and 1 loss, right? How cool is that? He also did a few other films. He was in No Retreat, No Surrender with Jean-Claude Van Damme. He was in Rage and Honor with Cynthia Rothrock, albeit just as like thug number 7. He did a few other roles. Unfortunately, didn't really amount to a huge status, but still very cool guy, and I wanted to bring that up. Yeah, definitely not going to be 5 minutes. That's okay. And to Miss Karen Shepard, who, wait, what's that? She was the first woman to hold the title of #1 women's black belt forum champion? Yeah, that's right. She beat Cynthia Rothrock to the punch on that one. How cool is that? She also, she had a whole, list of accolades, which, of course, you can just go Wikipedia if you want, but fuck you. But she was, a pioneer for, women kind of getting their due in martial arts community and, competitions and stuff like that. So, kudos to Miss Shepard. She also did a number of films. She kind of followed, I don't want to say followed in Cynthia Rothrock's footsteps necessarily, but she definitely had a film career of her own. Unfortunately, most of those films were kind of filmed Vietnam and Manila and really kind of offshoot places and stuff, and most are very hard to get a hold of as far as I've been able to find out. Though, you can find Region 2 copies of her excellent film with Mr. Jerry Trimble Jr., Terminator Woman, which has the oddest looking, I don't have it in my stack right now, but has the oddest looking cover. But you can find a Region 2 version of that, so if you have a Region Free DVD player, you can check that shit out. It is a badass movie. I would suggest doing so. So, also, she was on the Hercules show, which if you're around my age, you remember Kevin Sorbo in Hercules. She played a kind of fan-favorite character, the Enforcer. I just wanted to bring that up. I guess Cynthia Rothrock was in an episode of Hercules, too. I found that out recently. So that's pretty cool. That could have been my Cynthia Rothrock fact. Oh, well. You live, you learn, you love, you die. You live, you learn, you love, you die. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, Some of the other people in there, well, Melvin Long. I don't have to go into too much for Melvin Long, but I did want to give Melvin Long some credit. You don't get to see a ton of, like, because he didn't really do a ton of real fighting in most of these films. In fact, this, I think, is pretty much his biggest fight role. But the guy was a legitimate, aside from being a lawyer and, like, a pharmaceutical practitioner and a bunch of, like, a nightclub owner, he was really practiced in, like, White Crane Kung Fu and Hungar and a bunch of shit. So I just wanted to give that shout out to Melvin Long, because he's pretty badass. So the only other real interesting Goon news was in the scene where Cynthia has to beat the shit out of this, like, mahjong den. There's two guys. There's a guy who she goes to arrest, and there's a guy who hits her with a chair. And the guy she goes to arrest is a guy named Chin Yet Song. Or to Kung Fu fans, classic Kung Fu fans, Sleeping Wizard. How cool is that, right? Who is known for playing the role of Sleeping Wizard in the John Woo Swordplay Spectacular. One of my absolute favorite films. Yes, I am stalling for time because I'm trying to think of the name. Last Hurrah for Chivalry. He played an awesome character in that, and he's in there too. And I couldn't let that go. He's awesome. And he went on to direct a few films. He directed a movie for Shaw, the low-main, not exactly spectacular, but okay movie called Lion vs. Lion. And I think he's retired at this point, unfortunately. Which, let's get him back in there, folks. If you know him, let's get him back. And how cool would it be, by the way, if, like, I was thinking about this. How cool would it be if his character, Sleeping Wizard, he's this fighter who has kind of like a narcoleptic fighting style, right? So he kind of falls asleep mid-fight, but it works for him, and it's very cool. Watch that movie, by the way. I will eventually review that one, I'm sure. But I was thinking, how cool would it be if every time he kind of fell into that narcoleptic state, he ended up playing his character from above the law in this, or one of his other characters. Wouldn't that just be a fucking head fuck? I think so. Anyway, the guy who hits her with the chair, because I am going to try to keep this under 10 minutes, was a guy named Mak Y. Chung. Sorry about that. I know these guys by, like, titles sometimes. And he just had the nickname Monkey, though not Mad Monkey. That's a completely different guy, though they both had kind of monkeyish features. And I wanted to bring him up, aside from the fact that, he was a stuntman and did all kinds of shit and worked for Shaw. And the role that I'll always kind of remember him was in the Donnie Yen Spectacular Legend of the Wolf, which is a movie I wish there were, like, a better copy of it available, or, I don't know, cool movie, though. Actually one of my favorite Donnie Yen films. But he plays a monkey fighter in that, so if you were ever watching Above the Law and you're like, guy looks like a monkey. Where have I seen a guy who looks like a monkey before? Well, there's Hasao Hoi, who is kind of known as the Mad Monkey, but there was also Mac, who, he was in the Donnie Yen movie, played a monkey fighter. Awesome guy, awesome face. There's also, where's the other guy? Well, I did want to bring up real quick, Sammo, by the way, not in the movie, but he produced the film, was one of the action directors, as well as Meng Hoi, who at the time was actually, dating Cynthia Rothrock, so, cool, that. But Sammo directed, not directed, but produced, and was also one of the action choreographers for the film. So there's that. There was another one, too. I do not know what happened to it. Oh, Chung Fat, our friend Chung Fat from Yes Madam's also in there, too. He plays a random police officer. Nothing particularly cool, but just, hell. Like I said, random Goon news. So that's going to be my little special features thing. I'm not going to list it as I Know Kung Fu. I'm going to list it as IKKF. That'll be my little abbreviation thing. If you're looking for it for Above the Law. What's my next movie? I'm doing a newer film because I just want to, and I watched it and I thought it was a cool movie. Wrath of Vajra. Very cool movie, so that's going to be my next review. And so if you watch these, you'll get the inside scoop, as it were. And so, because I'm running out of time, because I hung with the East LA Warriors and the Bloody Mary Killer to defeat with the Fist of the North Star, the Resistance. I'm Brandon Wenzel. I review Kung Fu movies, and I do special features because I'm awesome. Because I know Kung Fu, and I know things about Kung Fu that lead me to do special features. So, have a good one, folks. Special features.